Yo, what is up guys, Quizzy the Game, so welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and today I have decided to do a video on the Nintendo Switch 2. Basically, I meant to do a week after the Switch 2, and we've reached 10 days by this point because of stuff that happened at home. So, you know, it's basically like, whatever, we're not doing exactly what I would have wanted, but it's fine. Hopefully I can have out a year in review video next year, June 5th. And give you my thoughts of it after a year. I know a lot of people are probably gonna do the same thing, so swagger jacking or whatever, it doesn't matter. But I decided to just, give my opinions, even though I don't have a camera, I can't show you my exclusive, like, oh, look what I have in my hand type of thing. But I decided to just use my footage and give you my thoughts on the things that are there. So first up, we're gonna talk about the only launch title I bought, Mario Kart World. Now, Mario Kart World, I think, is fantastic, honestly. I think it's a fantastic launch title. I only have a couple issues with it. I'll get those out the way first. I do have an issue with the online lobbies basically being different from 8, where it's just you have to pick people from your friends list. And if you don't have people on your friends list, you got to put out your code on social media, which is like, I guess, fine. But 8, I swear, 8 Deluxe had you could just join people's rooms. The people off your friends list, people random online, just going to see people, people racing around the world and stuff. I know they don't have, I don't think 8 had the BP thing or whatever, where you get ranked up on world map or whatever, on the world leaderboards or whatever. But I thought they could have brought that back of World, where they had a leaderboard for Knockout Tour or Battle Mode or something, but they decided not to. It's very disappointing. So I do think the online's kind of lacking. I do find the online very fun though, because when you get 24 people, it's actually super fantastic, and honestly, it's the most fun Mario Kart has ever been, in my opinion. So I really do love when you're racing online with people, but I just wish the lobbies were better. Hopefully they can patch that in. And also for online, I hope they just let you pick maps without pressing plus to look around on the map and pick a stage. Because I do like the intermission streets and stuff like that, but I do sometimes wish we could just do without the intermission streets and just do courses by themselves for 3 laps. Because there's some courses in there that are super short, and you only do them one time. It's kind of like, well, you didn't really give me much time to do that course online at least. So there is that. Also, Grand Prix has the same problem, but if you do Grand Prix online or offline, it can get kind of whack when you can only do just one route of a stage. So it is kind of disappointing that that's an aspect that they haven't fixed. Hopefully they do in a patch. And those are really my only issues. Actually, that's not my only issue. This is an issue that Nintendo has had since the Switch Generation 1 started, and you can just say, oh, you don't have to get 100% or whatever. They've had this issue where they give you a bunch of collectibles and don't really give you a real incentive to unlock stuff with them or collect them, really. And I do kind of wish they would do that again, like they used to. And this has been a problem with every big Switch game, I felt, where they just have a bunch of collectibles where you don't have to really do anything. I think minus Kirby Forgotten Land, I think is the name of it, Forgotten World or whatever. That one I think has done a good job with collectibles, and I think it's kind of sad that the other Nintendo big games don't really do a good job with collectibles, because they just throw millions of them out there, and then when you get them, you don't really get anything. And this one kind of does elevate that by saying, hey, you get 10 of everything and some other things you have to do to unlock a mirror mode, which I think is nice. But also you have 100 bajillion Peach coins and question mark panels and P switches all over the map. So it's I know they're mostly there for people to just have something to do in the open world, even after they unlock mirror mode. But it's just okay, whatever. But other than that, I think the game is fantastic. I love exploring, running around the world with my friends, online, offline. It's just chill as hell to do the free roam. The courses are fantastic. I love how they redid old tracks to make them basically seem like new tracks. It's a fantastic game. I would definitely say it's a killer app, right? It's a killer app. But what I would say is the killer app for the Switch 2 is something that came out on the Switch 1, and that is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now let's get into the main reason why I bought the Switch 2. The main reason I bought the Switch 2 was not specifically for Mario Kart or Bonanza or whatever is coming out. It's for Switch 1 games to be the best they can possibly be. For years, since 2019, 2 years into the Switch, I was like, man, we should get a Switch Pro. It'd be nice to have an upgrade refresh for the Switch, just because I want to play Switch games at 60 FPS, 1080p. And people would get on you and say, we don't need that, you don't need a Switch 2 or whatever, just enjoy your Switch or whatever. And I'm like, man, I'm not saying kill the Switch 1. I'm just saying, can we get a better Switch? And people would just get on my ass for it. And we finally got a Switch that just runs Switch games better. The Switch 2 is the Switch Pro, but also the Switch 2. And I'm so glad I was vindicated by Nintendo. Thank you very much, Nintendo. It came 7 years after the original Switch, which is fine. Honestly, it's fun that they did that. That's actually pretty decent spacing between it, so people don't feel like they're like losing money by not getting the Switch 2 or a Switch Pro so early after they bought it. So like, oh, I didn't get cheated or whatever, right? That's what people don't want to feel like. But I'm glad I finally won. I finally won, man. And playing Switch 1 games on this thing is a dream. I don't even mean the Switch 2 edition games like Breath of the Wild, which I'm having a blast, by the way. Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 2, the Switch 2 edition is phenomenal. 4K 60 FPS with HDR, and the new Zelda Notes app, which I actually was surprised at how good that Notes app is and how fun collecting the memories are, the voice memories that are on the app. And they also added an achievement system, which I think is really neat too. So Breath of the Wild Switch 2, Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2, really fantastic upgrades, and they come free with NSO expansion, so that's nice. But no, the Switch 1 games I've been playing throughout this week have been Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Splatoon 3, Captain Toad, and Jump Rope Challenge. Jump Rope Challenge changes not at all. It just runs on Switch 2. It's a good way to exercise. I think I've enjoyed exercising like that more than I have just like jogging around my neighborhood and stuff like that. So it's really fantastic. I'm really, really happy with Jump Rope Challenge. But oh my goodness, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, let me tell you, man, those are the way to play those games, because Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition unlocks its resolution and frame rate, so it runs 1080p 60 FPS, because it was downsampled to 720p on the Switch 1 because they never adjusted it to run in 720p when it came out, and they just never fixed it, which is a godsend. Thank you that they never did that, because they might have just abandoned it when it came out, on Switch 2 and not bothered to upgrade it, even as a free patch. But because they didn't bother with the adjusting on Switch 1, we have a perfect version of Hyrule Warriors on Switch 2. It is really the definitive edition of that game. Age of Calamity runs at a solid 30 FPS. I assume it'll get a patch when Age of Imprisonment comes out, where it runs at 60. So I assume Age of Imprisonment, will run at 60 FPS. So I think Age of Calamity will also get one. But Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is a brand new game to me. Listen to me good. This is the definitive Pokemon game. It is not upgraded visually in terms of like graphic design and textures, which are unfortunately still not great. And honestly, I don't think they could do a huge graphical refresh without making a Switch 2 edition, which they aren't going to do because they're working on ZA and Gen 10 right now. So I did not expect that. I was hoping, in my dreams, maybe one day we'll get the game that looks like the beta version of Scarlet and Violet that got held back by the Switch. If you've seen those pictures, maybe I'll upload them, maybe I'll forget. If I don't forget, I'll put them in the video. But yeah, Scarlet and Violet is definitive even without those high quality textures. 60 FPS Pokemon in the last, I think, like 20 years? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure, was it Emerald that ran, last time it ran at 60 in and out of battle. And it's glorious, man. It's glorious. Because Scarlet and Violet are my favorite Pokemon games, even when they had issues. I love exploring the world. The level design is fantastic. I love catching Pokemon in that game. I love Pokemon battles. I love the music. I love the gem challenges. There's just so much good to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. My favorite aspect of Scarlet and Violet is the 3 different branching storylines where you have the, Victory Road, normal Pokemon stuff, and like I said, they have the gem challenges that you do before the gems, which makes it like, more unique compared to the original line of Pokemon games that did not really like diversify what you did when you went to a gem, where you just fought a trainer and you left. And then you have the Team Star bases, which are really fun. I don't really care for the Team Star story too much, but I do think the Team Star bases and activities and battles are very fun and probably some of my favorite Pokemon content. And then you have the Arven and Professor, or I think Professor's part of Team Star, never mind. But the Arven stuff where you chase after the Paradox Pokemon to uncover the truth about his parents. I forget the name of that storyline specifically. But that one's fantastic too. It's just really good all around. I love all the branching paths. And then they culminate in the Area Zero storyline, which is freaking phenomenal. I love that final battle so much, man. I love the final battle so much. Then you get the DLCs, which are kind of mixed for me. I don't love the DLCs. I like the first one a lot. Don't love the second one. I like the world of the second one though. I like the world of the second one a lot, not the story too much. But I do enjoy the DLCs a lot. Definitely not as good as the main games, but they're really fantastic. And I think it's combine that with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet base game, the definitive Pokemon game, and thus making it the definitive app on the Switch 2. So I think if you're getting a Switch 2 and you're looking for a gameplay, just want to what Switch 1 game can I play that I didn't play originally because there were issues with the game. Scarlet and Violet is that game. pick up Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It doesn't matter which one, but Gen 9 shines like it should have all those years ago in 2022 or 2023, I forget. But one of the two. I think this alone, along with Mario Kart World, justifies the $450 price point. And I know people don't want to hear that because it's expensive, especially when you're buying Mario Kart World, because $80 will get the bundle, which makes $500, so you save money. But yeah, if you can get it, if you have a way to get it, people are struggling with money right now and all that stuff right now like that. But I do think the Switch 2 is worth it. Especially if you skip the Switch 1, get the Switch 2. There's a huge library of games to play. You're going to have a great time. Nintendo's actually some of their best stuff this generation. And you also get the Virtual Console stuff through NSO, which I haven't played much, so I couldn't really give you an opinion on that. I played Soul Calibur 2 for like 5 minutes. I'm waiting for more games to come on the GameCube stuff. But for the stuff like Game Boy Advance, N64, I've beaten the Zeldas on it. I played some multiplayer stuff like Mario Party. There's some weird racing game on the N64 NSO that I really enjoy playing with friends. So, you have options. There's a lot of stuff with the Switch 2. And if you get the expansion, you have even more than NSO expansion. Just get the base NSO and you'll have a plenty of stuff too. So yes, I do recommend the Switch 2. My impressions of it, fantastic system. In a year, I'll probably say this is one of my favorite consoles ever. Because in a year, we'll have stuff like Metroid Prime 4 and Donkey Kong Bonanza. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. And hopefully we see Final Fantasies, more Final Fantasies on this thing. Because I'm going to get Remake when it comes out and hopefully Rebirth next year. And hopefully Kingdom Hearts 4 is on the thing. Because maybe I'll make the Switch 2 my go-to console if that's the case. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys so much for having, Thank you guys so much for coming out to the video. Have a fantastic day. And peace from Quizzy D Games, everybody.